Hello, this is the educative channel of Gerald Johan van Waas. This channel is dedicated to make you understand letter combinations, how they are true expressions of true directions that we can discover in its combinations in words. The way how this works is due to how we perceive and interpret signals that come into our ear. We hear and try to measure the foundations of letters and associate them unconsciously, I will first say, with positions, directions and orientations, which at the end of the word we will reflect upon them and see, okay, did we see the match, how they hang together, that we can recognize the word. It's much more than associating the words themselves with an image, because there are a lot of words which are abstract as well. No, there is something that uses the frames themselves, how they are interacted, and that they make sense responsive to each other. Why does this work so? It's much more easy to understand another process that also happens also in our ears, and this is our way how we interpret movements. We hear no movements, but we sense movements in our inner ear, and we adapt and we have an interaction the same way as we have this also in a more subtle way with letters and letter combinations. We anticipate also by first recognizing the positions in space as fixed points, the movements as in between, and then our orientation in it, and then our feedback process also, how we have to adapt when there is a little bit too much of a certain movement. We anticipate, and this is very good that it exists, otherwise it would just have be positions and we don't know what they mean. But you have a few positions forward, we adapt to it, so we were not robots, we go along with the flow. Same thing happens in the letters. Here we are a bit automated, like robots, but other than robots, we also have this anticipation process, which I can discuss hours about it, how this works, how much it is working as an anticipation process for some people, or why it works for some people, or why it doesn't work for other people, and so on. But that's another chapter. Here I focus myself upon a similar system of automatism, and I will also use this process that goes automatically, like with our inner ear, to find a balance by exploiting a similar world of foundations based upon sign language. Sign language is the advantage of it is that I can also have involved with not just the signs, but also with the interactions, with the interactions between these signs. These interactions is the movement. It needs anticipation. If you have it here and you anticipate, you really sense it. It's much more easy than to say slash and head. Yeah, you don't fully understand it by simply having the elements on its own. So the sign language that I developed is the fixed points, just like the letters, but they also anticipate in the right way if you combine them in exactly the same way as how it uses with letters. So that makes it easy. Let's go now from from what I already expressed before, the ma to the am, the other way around. Am exists in German. It means attaching or things like that. You will get to know it once I explained it. Let's go. You have the M and the A. What I expressed already before, that was the expression of ma, and I didn't go much into the feedback process, which is a bit sad, because then you can understand the contrast between what happens and what is completely opposite of ma with am, and why it is an opposite, and then you can also sense the movement and why this movement is different. But when I put them over each other, you could already sense, okay, the ma is, if this is the M and this is the ma, you see it's a little bit larger, so it is an enlarged area. But I could emphasize on this in its reactions falsely by not involving the movements. What does really happen with this extra around the A is depending on the movement that it has, and that's why am and ma is different. But the ma, if you go, sorry, I have these two movements with the ma and the am. It is a completely different movement. If I have ma, I will take the extras out. And with the other way around, with am, I would take the extras in, or I connect the extras. You see, it is the other way around. It's best to perform the movement. So what is happening in ma? And that's how you can associate it correctly. You see these combinations. You see this extra enlargement of A by M. But when you perform it, you have also, you see that something is detached from it, so you keep only the essence of it. So there are extras involved, but the extras, whatever is the maximized form of A, it will be taken off and go to the essence. So the ma as ma is it could, of course, it is also associated with words like mantle and so on, or of course like mama and so on. But the essence is that or like the mant or the basket, the what happens here is you see that the extras fall off at the outside, and the inside is the most important thing that gets that is left in the end of the process. That's the way you have to learn to associate what is going on here. Perform them. After a while, you will have a more association, and it goes automatically. With am, it's the other way around, of course. The A to the M, what will happen in the movement? The M is the full size of the A. And if I go to the M, it's not just taking my hand over, but I also minimize the A so that it can become an application, and the M, or the more, will take over. So the M will do that, and the M will take over. What will be the effect if you do that? It's a little bit more open, as you should normally do if you simply express m. You have it more like this. And this is an automated process. You think that I'm not overthinking it at all. You're doing it and you react and you anticipate a little bit, and it slightly, subtly changes the movements. So with am, you have this form, and you understand that something is going over it, it's on it, it's upon it. That's what you have, and that's the meaning of the German word as well. So this is finding the connections as an additional value, just the other way around as with ma, which is taking it to the essence of what is inside. That's the most important thing. If I would simply express them over each other, as you have there at the right, you don't sense the effect, and so you could miss some of the associations. It's good to have a right feedback. Words, any word interpretations also depend on how well you understand what is said. That's the same in language. Someone is saying something and you only understand, let's say I only understand the elements, as I can see, the A and M on top of each other, but you don't understand the feedback process. So you vaguely understand it, but you think it's going to a different direction. If you associate further this going to a different direction will have some kind of karma effect, that it will come back to you that no, it's the wrong direction. It's the wrong direction. You don't understand it. The more you sense the directions, the more you sense not only the where I'm starting from, but also which direction it first and what kind of feedback it gives. That's all the three options and three regions of each letter that I explained already a couple of times before. If you understand these all three, you can understand what the words are talking about and what directions they are going and how you have to associate and which direction that you can go with them, so that you don't misunderstand the mama, that you don't understand what is connected or what is not connected, what is the essence and what is not the essence. And if you do so, the anticipation will be optimal. And that's the best thing that can happen to you. Then you understand the words and you understand each other also the whole time when you're able to, and as far as you're able to, and then you know how much you're able to, etc., etc., etc. Thanks again for watching. I hope the ma and am are already a little bit more clear and that you also can sense it in the movements. Feel free to check the homepage out. There is a list of explained words and demonstrations. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel if you like, and then you can see more demonstrations and more instructions soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.